Hello sim racing fans and welcome to the Red Bull Ring. LJV15 here, bringing you some highlights from what was round number 2 of the Nations Cup. We are here in Austria at the Red Bull Ring, 12 laps of this short little fast track. We are running in the Mazda Atenza, or if you're from where I'm from, it's just called a Mazda 6. Group 4 or GT4 if you will, as we hook into turn 1 and we're almost wide early doors. That's almost an immediate track limits penalty. 0.5 will be you'll be penalised if you do run too wide over that yellow sausage curbs on turn 1, and that really compromised our run down into this turn 2. And we drop down to third as CGS Pup takes away that second spot on the podium for the time being. We had a good quali as you could see. We started P2. We're just an absolute whisker. A bees away from pole position. It was like 0.1 or I think it was 0.1. I was going to say 0.01. I might be giving myself too much credit there. But 1/10 away from that pole position. And with those kind of times, looking the goods for a top 3 finish in this race. Coming to the end of lap 1 here, we haven't lost the leaders too much. Look into this final turn. We clunked that inside. Sleeping policeman upsets the car and will probably cost us a little bit of time down the main straight as we go on to lap 2. Hard on the brakes at the 100 board. Tip it in, get good acceleration. You want to be on the gas early to get up this hill. As I look at the left-hand times there, we're just dropping tick by tick by tick. Another hard braking area. I'm going to drop it all the way back to second. Really important at those ones. Got to get the car rotated, jump on the throttle as fast as possible. Obviously not too much wheel spin, etc., but the faster you can get it down and out of that corner, the better you're going to get a run down into this one. As now we're looking at 0.8. Pup looks to have our measure right now. Drunken Baker behind us in number 4. 5th you have Yule 71 and Funk Lux 99 rounding out the top 6. Nismo 86 Oz 7th, and Syrup Face taking up 8th position. Running out the second lap now, still stuck behind Pup, still at the 0.7. Flossie is eking out that lead. It's now out to 2 seconds as we're gonna hit warp drive and take you on to the 5th lap. We've closed up a bit, we've got it under half a second. Down to Pup. Flossie's coming back to us as well, who is now only 1.4 ahead of us. And we pull out a little bit from Drunken Baker. Top 3 at the moment, setting a steady pace and pulling away from the rest of the pack. Little twitch there you could see on the exit. Looking, hunting, chasing. What have we got for the fellows up ahead? Hard on the brakes. Pup's gone a bit deep, gone a bit wide. Can we get up the inside? He will have the inside for the net. No, we've cleared them. We've cleared them up into P2. Cheeky little mistake there from the Norton Mazda. And we'll say thank you very much. And we'll take P2. Or even pick up a purple sector en route for the fastest lap. What do we got? What do we got for Flossie? Easy to run wide here, and just if you're out on the green, all tyres out on the green, that will be a penno. Not a bad run out of there, dropping a little bit of time there to Flossie. It's 1.6. We hit a personal best. Not the fastest lap of the race, but penalty up ahead for Floss. As we lick our chompers at the prospects of taking over P1. As you can see, the times on the right, I had been hitting personal best almost each lap. 24 tricked my eyes there. I actually went a little bit slower in lap 4 than 3, but they're all around that mark, and we're only 0.1 away from the fastest lap of the race. Hooked down into turn 3, on lap 6. Probably looking, since we started at the front, probably look at go long, pit late. As I said, 1 minimum pit stop required, and that's a second for Flossie. Well, this will play right into our hands here with the little purple sector again. Get a nice clean final sector here. We could take away that fastest lap. See Flossie there ghosting after taking that 1 second penalty. The penalty line at this track doesn't hurt you as much as it does at some of the others. Daytona Road Course springs to mind. It absolutely swamps you, just due to where it's positioned on the main straight and on the oval part of the road course. Now we've gone up into P1. We went a bit defensive, almost ran wide, didn't want to get a penalty, but that in itself compromised. It's a bit like it did at the race start. And Flossie is up the inside. Tried to do a little switch back, couldn't quite make it work, but did get a great exit as we inch further up the road and onto Flossie's bumper. Nice exit, if I don't say so myself, putting its Flossie right under pressure. If you haven't been paying attention, Pup behind us is slowly catching us as we exchange places and penalties and whatnot. It's allowing the others to close up, and if you have a look in the rear view, Drunken Baker's closed up to Pup. It could be a 4-way battle before we know it. Down the second, back up in the third, good run, almost exceeding track limits as Pup hits the pits. Pup hits the pits. Let's see where they come out. Could be interesting. And I actually realised I did stuff up my strategy. But let's talk about that when we get there, as Flossie picks up another 0.5. Got a much better run. We're going to send it up the inside. Hard on the brakes. Can try and go too wide. I'm going to cut that a little. Give him heaps of space. Actually, he's ran wide. Oh, we touch. Is that another penalty? We'll have to wait and see. Falls back behind. Didn't want to race it. Didn't want to fight it. Sometimes, too, best to fight for another day, take the penalty, as bumping and rubbing and diving up the inside and whatnot can slow you down. Sometimes it's just better to take it on the chin, but I'm not in their head, so I don't know. Look behind. He's going to fall back. That's going to be handy. We can stretch the legs a little and not have to worry about the rear view. We can take a deep breath. Get our head down and focus. On to lap 9 now. We hook into turn 1 and we're going to hit warp drive. Once again, let me press the button. Oh, there you go. We skipped ahead a lap. Onto lap 10. You see, it's Flossie there on the left has hit the pits. NANO86 Oz has moved well up into the order, so I think it's Flossie, Drunken Baker, possibly is pitted as well, and Pup. Let's see how this one plays out. We're going to stick with it for the last 3 laps. As we head down into turn 3, there's a 10.4 second gap. Back to Nismo86 Oz. I think 1, 2 and 3 have yet to pit. It'll be interesting to see where we come out, as we're going to hit the pits this lap. Oh, a little bit wide there. Is that a penalty? Track limits, as I said earlier, are a pain, and yes it is, 0.5. As we hit the little fast forward button and shoot on into the pits. Now, I mentioned before I made a mistake with the strategy. Yes, you have to pit once, but you don't have to change tyres. So changing tyres just then, even though it gives me a fresh set, it's only for 2 laps, doesn't really matter that much. Could have just come through the pits, taken no tyres, taken no fuel, and got out. And I think that could be why I've slotted back in behind Drunken Baker. Still with a 0.5 penalty to serve. That little strategic mistake could be costly with only 2 laps to go. We do have the fresh rubber, but I don't think it really matters that much, just being the hard tyre. It's not like, you know, you worn out half of them and you jumped onto the softs and then zoom. It's a bit meh. A bit of a weird race strategy setup. But to be fair, like, why not make us use the medium and the hards or whatnot? Anywho, back to the racing. About to take my penalty. This is going to be costly with only a lap to go. As Nismo hits the pits. What about Funked? Funk Deluxe 99 hits the pits as well. So it looks as if we're going to jump these 2. Are we? Yes. We jump the 2, taking the pit stop on the last lap possible, and drops us up into P3. And 1.6 seconds up the road from P4, unless something dramatic happens to us now. We should be at least on the podium, but what have we got for Drunken Baker? It's Flossie. He's out front with one of the biggest leads they have had of the race, 3.2. As we chase down another V8 supercar livery, and that would be the Middies livery. Who's that? Bryce Ford? I think it's Brycey boy. Brad Jones Racing. Anyways, hooking around what would be 5 and 6, and not really much to answer for the Races up front. We've pulled away a little bit from Pup, as you can see. That's out to 1.8. But that strategic error in taking tyres has probably cost us a P2 and, dare I say, P1, as I run a little bit wide and pick up one last penalty for good measure. Thanks for coming, but we will take third step on the podium. Got to be happy with that. Always happy with a podium. I'm no world beater. I'm normally happy with a P5. Top 5 is often my objective in these ones. Thank you very much for watching my highlights package of that race. Please remember to hit that like button. Really helps me out. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more videos.